Hello friends, today I'm going to discuss about Spring Boot with Kubernetes in this video. So to work with Spring Boot with Kubernetes, so you should install two softwares. One is Docker, another one is Minikube in our local system. So I already installed Docker and Minikube in my local system. Okay, I'm using Ubuntu here. So I have installed Minikube in my local system. So to start the Minikube, we have to use this command Minikube start. Okay, so it will take a couple of minutes. So in the meantime, I'm going to dockerize this Spring Boot application. So I have a sample controller here, simple controller here, so that controller will return one string here. Okay, and I have a Docker file. So by using this Docker file, I'm going to create the image. So that image I'm going to use in the Kubernetes. So let's take another terminal. So let's zoom this. So we have Docker images here. So whatever this Docker image is available in the Docker repository, so this Docker images will not available directly to this Kubernetes. So we have to run one command to available this images in this Kubernetes. Okay, so Minikube, so Docker environment. Okay, so now check. So whatever these few images are available, this image is available in this Kubernetes. Okay, now I'm going to paste this Docker file path to dockerize my Spring Boot application. So Docker, so build manage Spring Boot. So I'm going to take, so you can take any name, but I'm taking Spring Boot Kubernetes. So the tag name is 1.0 and the current directory I'm using. So let's hit enter. So it is going to create image here. Okay, so let's check Docker images. Spring Boot Kubernetes is created and the tag name is 1.0. Okay, now we have to create two objects. One is deployment object, another one is service object. Basically the deployment is responsible for running this set of pods, and the service is giving the network access to this set of pods. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first of all I'm going to create the deployment object. So to do this I'm going to use this kubectl command. So this kubectl command, okay, this is a command line tool, so which is used for the Kubernetes which is control the Kubernetes cluster from your workstation. So that is the reason we use this kubectl and run. So in the deployment name I'm going to give Spring Boot. Okay, so Kubernetes, and image name, so I'm going to use this image. Okay, let's copy this image. So let's paste here. So I'm using 1.0 version, so 1.0 and the port number. Okay, so port number I'm going to map to 8080 and image pull policy, image, so pull policy. So if not present, so this image pull policy, if this Docker image is not available in our local repository, it will going to pull it from your Docker hub. Okay, so but this is available in my local repository, right? So now, so I'm going to mention never here. So it is going to create the deployment. So let's check this kubectl get deployment. See here, Spring Boot Kubernetes deployment has been created. Okay, now I'm going to create the service object. So kubectl, so expose, so deployment, so the deployment name is Spring Boot Kubernetes, and the type of this service I'm going to use node-port here. So this node-port is will provide this services to the external clients. Okay. Okay. So service is export now. So let's clear this kubectl get services. See here, service is created. So service type is node port, so the cluster type is this, and we have mapped to 8080 port number, and the node port number is 31820. So okay, so kubectl get ports. So we have only one pod. What is pod? Basically the pod is the collection of pods. Okay, so the collection of the pod is nothing but the collection of containers which will interact with each other. So in this pods. Okay, now so I'm going to check minikube IP. So this is the node IP. Okay, so this is the node IP, and this 31820 is the node port. So let's check whether it's working or not. 31820, right? 31820. Let's hit enter. Yeah, it's working fine. So my endpoint is greeting. See here, welcome to my YouTube channel. So it's working fine. Okay. So kubectl get pods. So if you want to check that pods IP address, then you can mention so void. So it will shows the IP address of this each pod. Okay. Now kubectl. So I have only one pod. So I have only one instance is running, one container only is running in this pod. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the 3 replicas of this deployment. Okay, so kubectl get deployments. Now kubectl scale, I'm going to scale this, and so replicas equal to 3, I'm going to use 3. Okay, and so resource type is deployment, I'm going to use deployment Spring Boot. Okay, Kubernetes. Let's hit enter. Deployment Spring Boot Kubernetes. Yeah, it is scaled. So let's check. See here, so we have 3 instances here. So let's check kubectl get pods. So the pods also 3 is created here. Okay, so this is scale, like so if you want to create the replicas, okay, so you have to create like this. So kubectl get, if you want to check the replicas, use this command get rs. Okay, so we have 3 replicas and current and ready. Okay, so like this. And if you want to check minikube dashboard, you can check with this command minikube dashboard. So it will shows like all the deployments, okay, and the pods and replica sets. Okay, so we have services also. So services, so all the information you can see here. So in the services, if you can see here, we have Spring Boot Kubernetes, and which is running on 31820 port number. So we have mapped to 8080 TCP protocol. Okay, so yeah, let's kill this. Let's clear this console. So what I'm going to do is so I'm going to auto scale this, because let's say we have like a lot of e-commerce applications, right? So in the weekend or like on specific holidays, so we will have like more load on this e-commerce applications. So what you need to do is you have to provide like more CPU uh, more RAM, and we have to increase physically and manually. So what we need to do is we have to auto scale this by using Kubernetes. Simple, by using Kubernetes we can auto scale this, okay, by using simple one command, kubectl. So auto scale, and the deployment, yeah, so deployment spring boot Kubernetes, right, Kubernetes. And so how much min equal to 1 and max equal to 10, and CPU percent equal to, so when it is reaches 75 percentage, then you have to auto scale this, okay. Let's hit enter. See here we have auto scale here. So let's check with kubectl get HPA. So what is HPA? Horizontal pod autoscaler, okay. See here we have Spring Boot Kubernetes. When it is reaches, the target is 75%, and minimum parts is 1, max parts is 10 parts. So when it reaches 70%, automatically the parts will be increased, okay, and the replicas is 3, and age is 16 seconds, okay. So this is how it will work now. So kubectl get deployment. So yeah, let's check with this command. So we have Spring Boot Kubernetes 1.0 version. So let's see, if you want to like update this image, so you have like 2.0 Spring Boot image, so then how can you update this? So we have a command to update this kubectl. So before I'm going to update this, but let's check whether the image is available or not. The core images, so we have only 1.0 image here, but I want to create the 2.0 image here, okay. To do this, docker run, docker build, so Spring Boot, so Kubernetes 2.0, okay. So I'm going to build the 2.0 image here, and 2.0 image is built, okay. So now I'm going to use this 2.0 image. So basically in the Kubernetes, I'm using this 1.0, right. I'm going to update with 2.0. So kubectl, okay, set image, okay, and deployment, and the deployment name is Spring Boot Kubernetes, okay, and the container name, so Spring Boot Kubernetes equal to the image name Spring Boot Kubernetes 2.0, right. I'm going to use the 2.0. So kubectl set image deployment name, the container name, okay, so and image name. So I'm going to set this image to this container and the deployment name, okay. This is how it will work, okay. Now let's hit enter. So it is saying that it's updated. So let's check kubectl get deployments. Okay, so see here we have Spring Boot Kubernetes 2.0, so it's updated successfully, okay. So kubectl get, so deployments, So if you want to see the in detail this deployments, you can use kubectl describe deployments. So it will shows like, so whatever that deployments information is there, that all the information available here. So we have name, namespace and labels and the selected informations, okay, and the parts information, okay, and so whatever that events it has performed, so that all the events performers also you can see here, okay. So let's clear this console. So till now we have seen like how to use this Spring Boot with Kubernetes by using these manual commands, okay, and we have another approach, that is you can use it by using yaml files also, okay. So let's explain that also. So to do this, what I need to do is, so we need to create two YAML files, okay. So the first one is deployment.yaml file and the second one is service.yaml file. So we have to run these two YAML files. So I'm going to explain in detail so what this deployment.yaml file and the service.yaml file, okay. So I have already created image, so in detail, so I will explain. So this is a deployment.yaml file. So we have like API version. So what is the API version? Basically we have to use a version, okay. So if you are using like 1.9.0 before version, you have to use apps v1 beta 2, and if you are using after 1.9.0 you can use apps.v1, okay. And what is kind? So basically I am going to create this deployment object, right? So if you are going to use deployment or service object, you have to mention in this kind. So what kind of object you want to create, and the metadata. So what is metadata? That data helps uniquely identify the objects, so by using name, okay. So here I have provided Spring Boot Kubernetes, okay. We have another parameters also, that is UID and the namespace, okay. And we have spec. So what state you are desired for this object, basically this spec will says that, so what state you are desired for this object. And we have labels and the selectors, okay. So the labels we are using for identifying the attributes for this object, okay. So we have set of parts, right? So that set of parts, what it will do is it will use the labels, okay, to identify that objects, okay. And we have selectors. So what the selector will does is, so by using this selector field, so it will defines like how the deployment finds which parts to manage. So by using this selector, so it will defines like how the deployment finds which parts to manage. We have set of parts, so it will choose particular part based on this label name, right? So that label we will use inside this cluster, inside this selector, okay. So that is the difference between selector and the labels. And we have one more spec here, that is containers information, okay. We have container name and image, okay. We have container port, so I'm going to map to this 800, okay. And this is the deployment.yaml file, okay. We have service.yaml also. So let's open this. So in this service.yaml file, so we have same thing like API version and the kind. So what kind of object you are going to create and the metadata. So in the metadata I have name and the labels, okay. So the label should be matched with this deployment.yaml file, okay. We have label name is Spring Boot Kit, right? So the same name should be available there also. And we have spec and the ports. We have three types of ports here. So one is node port and port and the target port. So what are the differences between these three ports? So let me explain. So we have node port 30163, okay. So basically, so this node port is make the service available to network request from the external clients, okay. And the port 8080, so access the service via the external port number, okay. So the target port, so this target port we will use inside our Spring Boot application, okay. The port that container listening on this 80, so I'm going to map from 80 to 8080, that is port, okay. And after that we are going to make the service calls to this which port, this node port. Okay, so make the service available to the network request from the external clients. The final port is we are going to use 30163. okay, this selector will select the ports. So we have Spring Boot Kubernetes. This should be matched with the label name. And the last one is type, what type of service you are going to provide, that is node port, so which expose the application on the port across each of your nodes. Okay, so this is how the service.yaml file will look like this. So I hope like you guys are got it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create deployment and services by using these two YAML files. Okay, now so in this target port I have 80. So but in the application.properties file I didn't mention any port number, but so what I'm going to do is, okay, I'm going to change this port to 8080. okay, because the Spring Boot embedded Tomcat default port number is 8080. okay, so I don't want to change application.properties file. So let's save this and let me copy this path of this YAML file. Let's copy this. So kubectl and get deployments. Okay, now let me delete this deployment because I'm going to use, so if you want to delete this deployment, so you can delete deployment, the Spring Boot Kubernetes. Okay, deployment is deleted. Now we can delete the service also. Service, kubectl delete, yeah. Deployments is no more there. And let's check the services. So services also is not there. Let's check the ports. So ports also is not there. Now let's clear this console. Now I'm going to copy of this deployment.yaml path. So now I'm going to apply this kubectl apply -f. That's it. Let's hit enter. So it's saying the deployments created. Let's check. So see here, deployments are created now. So I'm going to create the services by using service.yaml file. Service.yaml. Let's hit enter. Services also created. So kubectl get services. See here, services also created. So here, see here, we have node port is 30163, right? 30163. Let's check 30163. See here, it's working fine. So this is how we can create this Spring Boot with Kubernetes by using this services and this deployments by using this deployment.yaml and service.yaml by using only two simple commands. So if you are working with manual commands, so you have to run like manually, you have to connect that services and the deployments, but here there is no headache. You have to define simply in the deployment.yaml and the service.yaml files. Okay friends, I hope like you guys are enjoying my video. So if you do like my video, So please do like my video and subscribe my channel for upcoming more videos. Thank you, thanks for watching my video.